Jeez Louise, what is even happening? This has gotten crazy. I mean, it's been out of hand, but the degree in which the out of handness has developed has reached a fever pitch, I think. And I know I don't typically talk about this kind of stuff, but I'm definitely going to start more because we have no other choice, right? You can't. It's unignorable at this point. So I kind of wanted to just check out some of the uh, you know some of the protests and stuff like that, and we're gonna check it out. But yeah. So I'm Brentley, and this is the Punk Apostate. Let's go. So it's still trending at the top of in the little news button or whatever, and it's Abolish ICE is trending. And I just kind of wanted to check out some of these videos and see what's going on because it's gotten crazy. They're now like going door to door. ICE is just completely out of control. They're wearing masks. Nobody can identify them. They're they're literally like able to grape and do whatever they want to anybody that they want, and they have complete immunity, it seems. I think JD Vance even said that they can literally do whatever they want, and it's causing people to be like, we've had enough. I mean, you're having calls for violence from the left, and that usually takes a long time, honestly, for the left to get to the point where they're actually like, I don't know, I think we need to look to the past precedent on this thing. Thankfully, there is actually a past precedent on this sort of thing, and it's the Black Panthers. They were dealing with this, and it's crazy too because we've been like, talking about this, and we keep on talking about Germany, and to a degree, I think that's accurate. Mainly because of Trump, I think. He's very similar to like a cult leader, right? So he has those similarities to Hitler, right? So our minds keep going to that. But this is so much more similar to the KKK. This is what they do. This is why they wear masks, so they can go around and terrorize people and never be held accountable. That's what's going on here. And so so they're out here just, and we have precedent for this sort of thing, and the Black Panthers, they started doing armed militias. I am not a fan of guns. I'm going to be totally honest. That is not my jam. I'm not about that life. But at this point, I think we need to, shit, when the right wingers were asked to wear a piece of fabric on their face, they showed up with guns, in mass, just a ton of them with guns, right? And we're here getting our asses beat, and ripped out of our homes systematically, just going from house to house to house, just pulling the people out, breaking down, they're breaking down the doors, treating every single resident of that state like they're all criminals. And they're doing this thing where it's like they are like waiting to see. Basically, they're just arresting people without any evidence that they've done anything wrong at all. And they're like, "Wow, we're like waiting to get the status on it." And it's like, what the? So they could just detain American citizens without any due process whatsoever. It's a nightmare. I mean, it's completely insane. And so, yeah, I just want to check some of this out and kind of look at what is going on here, because this is insane. But here, let me see if we can watch some of these.
Do you have an ID on you, ma'am?
I don't need an ID to walk around in my city. This is
okay. Do you have some ID then, please?
I don't need an
If
ID.
not, we're gonna put you in the vehicle. We're gonna ID you.
ID.
Huh?
I'm not gonna take out. You take out your ID.
You don't have an ID?
I'm not going to take out
Jesus.
anything. I am U.S. citizen. I am U.S. citizen.
All right, can we see an ID, please?
I am U.S. citizen.
It's crazy. It's crazy that they can sit there and ask for an ID when they're covering their face. You know, how like, what's your ID, man? Like, who the hell are you? And you're just going to show up and tell, but I got to show you my ID. I'm the one showing my face here. And, but you're the, you know, but I'm the criminal for walking down the street.
I don't need to carry around an ID in my home.
Well,
This is my home.
Where were you born?
This is my home.
Where were you born?
Minneapolis is my home.
Ma'am, that's not,
This is-
we're
this-
doing an immigration check. We're doing a
This
citizen
is
check.
this is
And we're
where
asking you where you were born.
this is where I belong. This is my home.
Ma'am, you
and
can belong here.
Hey, what's up? Dave Murphy. How you doing? I've been enjoying your videos, man. Do some good, you make some good content over there. Hell yeah. Yeah, do not subscribe to Dave Murphy. It's really good.
But where were you
And
born?
I am not gonna give you an ID.
Then we're gonna put you in the vehicle until we can ID you.
I belong here. I should be walking around here at
She's-
3. I shouldn't.
She's got an accent, you know, she's got an accent. It's not like there's entire American territories where everybody speaks Spanish or anything. It's, you know,
Be afraid in my life at this point.
Ma'am, do you have an
You
ID
making
to
me
give
a
us?
skirt? No.
Yes, you're correct.
You making me a skirt?
but like,
you making me a
Do you have
panic.
an ID?
This is my home.
Ma'am,
I
where
am-
were you born?
I am U.S. citizen. I am U.S. citizen. And I don't think so. You have a right to picture me while I am in my home and walking around in my home. This is not
so
acceptable.
she's she's at her home and they're just coming up onto her property. Oh my God, they better never come to me. I swear to God.
terrorizing
I've been
people.
getting so much
and
trouble.
it's not
Where were you
acceptable.
born?
It doesn't
But
matter.
like like this is insane. Like they're just and they're disappearing people. Like the people are missing. And the thing is, when it comes to like the everything that happened with Hitler, like we tend to think of it like everybody knew what was going on, you know, just blatantly out in the open. Like, no, we figured it out later. Everybody figured it out after the fact that there were trenches and stuff that they were just throwing bodies into. And how do at this point, especially, you know, in Florida, where like they have the alligator Auschwitz, like I don't know that they're not, you know, making trenches out there in the freaking swamp. They're completely being like secretive about everything. They're like hiding everything. And now they're also like they just passed a bill that said that like politicians and stuff that have the clearance to be able to go to those facilities to check them out, make sure that they're like following, you know, the precedent and everything. They're like saying, oh no, you need to have 7 days. You need to alert us. We need 7 days. Like, what the hell are you gonna do with 7 days? What the hell are you doing with that? Why? Oh, so you can like what? Try to fix everything? Try to like clean up all this? Like what? Like get rid of all the, you know, all of the shit that's all over the floor, all the fucking like what? Like why do you need 7 days? It's because they're trying to hide it.
Where I was born. I belong here. I am U.S. citizen. What else can I say?
It's messed up. So they're just so I guess in this one, they're literally just harassing people. That's what they're doing. And they're escalating. And it's weird too. Like I can't get over this, the fact that that ICE agent that shot Mrs. Good like filmed it. He filmed it himself, which I just can't get over that. I'm just like, what? Why did he film it? It almost feels like this is purposeful, like they wanted to shoot somebody on camera so that everybody could see from the best angle, I guess, what, you know, that they are just shooting people now. Why, you know, and you're like, why? Well, why would they do? Because they want to escalate. They want people to go out. They want people to get mad and go outside. And I think maybe they're trying to do, you know, they're trying to do like a martial law kind of situation, you know? It's just what, like, why else did you film yourself doing that? It's crazy. And then now we're also finding out that the Proud Boys and all of them, they are, you know, the stand back, stand by. Well, this is what they were standing by for. Because now they're the ICE agents. Those criminals, all those criminals that went and attacked the Capitol, that now they're trying to rewrite that history too, which is just infuriating. The way that we could, and this is all they're doing is just proving that the postmodernists are right. you know, when they do shit like that. No, that's not actually what actually they were just peaceful protesters, and the Biden, that's what it was. It was Biden. Police, they were the instigators there. Yeah, they were the ones. But it's like, are you kidding me? And that's what's going to go down in history books. And if Trump just keeps up with this insanity, he, you know, and keeps all the power that he's got, and we don't do anything about it, that's what's going to go in the fucking history books, because they have like ultimate control of all this shit. It's insane. And it's like, it's crazy how like right wingers are like, you know, they freak out because they have to wear a mask on. They were wearing gold stars. They were putting gold stars on their fucking shirts and stuff, whatever, because they're like, oh, I'm being oppressed because I have to get a vaccine. This is Nazi Germany, you know. And then, but then they turn around when they get power, they do this, and we're just expected to be like, nah, this is, you know, business as usual, I guess. No gold stars for us. Like, what the hell, man? This is insane. Because everything that they are mad about on the right is so stupid and made up. And then when they get power, then they turn around and do this, make everything worse. There is no possible way this is like good for America. There's no possible way. It also makes me think, and, you know, hear me out and tell me what you think. I'm going to check out the comments here. But like, I don't know. It almost feels, what was I going to say? I lost it. Yeah, I lost it. I'm really mad right now. I've just been like scrolling through this shit, and it's just infuriating. Oh, turned up to that. Okay. This is Tennessee. So they showed up to the Tennessee legislative session with a huge abolish flag, or abolish ICE flag. Good. Yeah. We got to just start going out in mass. The only other thing that I can think is, you know, and there's, you know, people are talking about this quite a bit. And they're talking about maybe doing like a mass strike, because they kind of only, it reminds me of that, oh shit, what was it? Was it Kill Bill? I don't know. At the beginning of Kill Bill, when he goes in and he's like, you're late, you know, it's the Michael Madsen's character, whatever, is like working at the strip club, and he's like, there's nobody here to bounce, so I didn't, you know, I came in late or whatever. And he's like, are you working this Saturday? He's like, yeah. No, you're not. And he like cuts out. He's like, fucking with their cash is the only thing you seem to understand. And that's exactly the kind of mentality I feel like I have for what's going on here. You know, we're just gonna have to start screwing with their cash, because it's like this oligarchy, like the wealthy get to do whatever they want and are escalating things on purpose, because the chaos makes it so they can grab on the more power. He's invading other countries. He's talking about, like, he already illegally invaded Venezuela. Now he's talking about going after Greenland. And he's saying that we're not, you know, we're just going to do it. You know, it's not, it's you know, one way or another, I think he said, we're going to take Greenland. What the hell is happening? No, don't take my phone. Went into a Target. This is insane. The damn ICE grabbed a 17-year-old Target worker. He was working at his job, despite him saying he's a U.S. citizen. After confirming he was, they dumped him in a Walmart lot 8 minutes away. Bystanders found him sobbing, bleeding. Jesus, what the hell? They said they slammed me on the ground. A kid, a child. Imagine if they did that to your kid. Holy shit. And this is like how they got him. This is not good. This is not good for America. Like, I don't know how they think this makes things safer. Right at a Target. This is an occupation, yo. This is this is state-sanctioned terrorism. They are terrorizing the cities that just don't support Trump. And that's why I say, like, this is all, it's going to end up being like a loyalty thing. And it's like, they know the AI is coming, right? And it's going to replace a bunch of jobs. Well, then you're going to have a huge populace of people with even less than we have right now. And they were pushing, like forcing all these people into existence, you know, like by banning abortion and stuff like that, and trying to force everybody to give birth, you know, because that makes their little army, you know, they're playing the long game, right? It makes their little capitalist slave army that they can exploit, right? And now AI is about to replace a bunch of jobs, and it's almost like they're trying to, like, I don't know, just arrest everybody or something. So that only, I don't even know. I don't know how, like, what exactly they're thinking about systemically, but this is insane. Jesus, I just can't believe this is happening.
You guys are all on video.
That's it. They're also like, they're like going after the people that are just filming them too. They just automatically just start assaulting the people that are just standing there, right? That are just filming them, which you're allowed to do. You're allowed to film ICE, and they hate that. You know, they hate it when you're there just filming them. Which, you know, like I said, that's like with absolutely within your right to do, but it doesn't seem to make any difference. What they're doing is completely illegal from any like, you know, from any standpoint that you take it, other than an authoritarian dictatorship where they're just saying, we are the rules now. We can do whatever rules we can just make up whatever rules we want to on the spot. There's nothing anybody can do about it because we're the most powerful people here, and you know, we've got full control of this country.
They do it on target. They do it on target.
They're literally blocking the... That's a child.
Jonathan Aguilar Garcia.
That's a child.
Give us a phone number.
Get the fuck out of here, Ray.
Why are you kidnapping a citizen? Why are you? Why?
And this dude,
Sir, give us your phone.
and like, it's just like, who the hell are these people that they're finding to do this shit? I couldn't imagine doing this. And there's like a lot of videos of people coming out just being like, dude, what, like, if this isn't the point for a revolution, what is? Like, when is it? When do we, you know, show up the same way they're showing up, but to fight them?
Phone number. We'll call your family. Give us your phone number.
At least
Psychotic. What the hell is happening? It's just insane. This is absolutely a fascist takeover of the entire country. That is this now? This is the teen that ICE beat up and detained from Target, 17 years old. Realized he really was a U.S. citizen, and then threw him out of the car in a Walmart parking lot. After I'm pretty sure they took his phone, I bet. So he can't, you know, what pieces of shit, man. Who does this to a child? And it wasn't, and for nothing. It's like, don't you have to, like, make sure that the people are actually immigrants or whatever that don't have their papers and stuff before you start doing this? But the immigration shit's not the point. That hasn't, they don't actually care about that. That's just their excuse to terrorize the entire city. Fucking crazy. So I said, what is this? Enraged to know this continues to happen here in Philly. I love the city so too much to stay quiet about things like this. Abolish ICE. Fuck your bigotry. Yeah. That's all this is. It's just they've given, like, complete and utter power. Look at this fuckhead. Nick Sorter. The Justin Indian rep Sri Thanidar, who can barely even speak English, announces he's introducing a bill to abolish ICE. Tell this foreigner to go pound sand. Real Americans back ICE. No, we don't. No, we don't. And I'm absolutely a real American, motherfucker. And ICE's mission. Fuck your mission. This ain't even a mission. Like, you're just terrorizing people. Shit just pisses me off so bad. Anyway, is any y'all in any of the areas where they're like messing with people? Let me bring up the comment. This is psychotic. So the feds are the domestic terror for real. That's the other thing that's like pissing me off too. Is like, it was crazy because my mind like went totally the opposite direction when that gnome lady or whatever came out and was like, "Oh, this was an act of domestic terrorism." I'm like, okay, finally, somebody's like figured this thing out. And the lady in the vehicle. What? She's the what? She's the terrorist? No, he was the terrorist. They're the occupying force that is just terrorizing people and shooting women in the face for just being in a car in a place they don't like. Insane. What the hell is going on? Oh, you're in New York. Yeah. That's, I can see that. That's crazy because there's and there's so many people there. You're in the city too, New York City. My God. There's just so many people. And I'm just like, how are we not coming together over this and you know what I mean? And just pushing back with everything we've got. This is America. You can't just do this stuff. That's why I'm just like, where are all the people with the guns? But that's the thing, like, for the most part, you know, on the left, we typically are against that. But the thing that the right wingers constantly said about why, you know, the populace should be armed is actually coming to fruition. And it's kind of funny because the right wingers, they went to work for the occupying force, that is the government. And now we all are like, well, shit, I got to go get a gun. I got to get like 18 guns. I got to start stockpiling this shit. Like, at what point do we not, you know what I mean? Do we not push back? Just the fabric on their face, and they're showing up with like fully loaded. Like, what the hell? It's insane. I'm just like, I don't know. I just am like, I don't even know what the hell is going on. So I don't think they're inherently bad people or anything, but they're in such a right-wing bubble. Well, yeah, and that sort of is the problem. And that is, I think, the problem with where, like, kind of like where we're at right now, because they can silo information so well because of the internet and everything. Back in the day when, you know, previous revolutions took place, they didn't have the ability to kind of like silo everybody off and only show the people on a particular side information that validates their beliefs, right? But now we're in that space. And so, you know, I'm like, what I'm seeing is a complete hostile takeover of of our country, fully, of these fascist nutbags. But you talk to, like, if I talk to my mom and stuff, she's like, oh no, they're just getting the dangerous criminal immigrants. Wait, that's all they're doing. And then it's like, are you not seeing? And no, she's not seeing any of it. You know, because she just sees her right-wing feed probably, and probably only goes to like news stories and stuff if it comes up in her Facebook feed, because that's, you know, where everybody posts their videos and stuff, or their articles and everything. And then those are the only articles she looks at. So she's like completely unaware that this stuff is even going on. But I'm starting to wonder if that even is the case, or if it's just like one of those things where they, where they're just literally mentally blocking this out because of like a what do you call it? The sunk cost. It's like a sunk cost fallacy thing, right? They cannot grapple with the fact that they have been supporting a regime for the past decade that has, you know, led to a complete Nazi takeover of our country. It's like, and the fact that she didn't understand that, like, they were going to blue cities only. And it's like, you don't think that's weird? And it's like, oh, well, that's just where all the people are. They just happen to have all of the immigrants. What? But like the red states like have their border towns and stuff. What are you even talking about? Like, and the what is it? The shit. What is it? Hey, how's it going, Ryan? What's up? I just had a video with you come out today. It was a clip from our time hanging out. It was a lot of fun. I would love it if we could. Yeah, that needs to absolutely happen. Because otherwise, worse is going to happen. That's all I could say. Or there needs to be some serious reforms. And I saw that like there are some politicians. So like, but at this point, I'm just like, I'm so like done with the politicians because the people on the left. It's almost, and I'm not saying I believe this, but it almost feels like they're paid, to just pretend that they're doing stuff. Oh man, they got us again. we were trying, but they got us. They're tricksy, those right-wing fascists, and it's like I'm not buying it anymore. It's just like they're being paid to go down in the fourth, almost like with all the sports betting that's going on that seemingly is ruining sports. I don't really watch sports, but it kind of feels like that, except that it's politicians and they're just, being paid to not do their job. I mean, shit, you got an entire party whose, their whole belief system is around government not existing, like they're anti-government, working for the government, and they just mess everything up on purpose, defund everything, and then go back and point to the government and go, see, it doesn't work, let's defund it some more. And that works for some reason. It's insane. It's infuriating. Anyway, all right, let's look at some more of this. Sorry, I know I'm just like really, really angry. Like I'm having a hard time just like not shaking, so I'm just so infuriated by this shit. Okay, check this out. ICE agents detained a U.S. citizen, legal observer. That's what it's called when you are, watching them with your phone there, and filming them, because it's legal to observe them and film it. They're in public, right? And in Minnesota, smashing his car window, dragging him out. This is a U.S. citizen, and placing a knee on his neck. This is Minnesota, conduct banned under Minnesota law after George Floyd. So, and it's like they have no rules for these guys. It's crazy too, because they're like, oh, if they would just follow the rules, if the immigrants would just do it the right way, and then they do policing exactly the wrong fucking way. It's so absurd. It's like, but everybody's got to follow fucking rules, but you and your dictator nut job. Jesus, look at that shit. They're animals, dude. Like, what the hell are these people? Where do they come from? It's like you almost wonder, like, all the, everybody, it's like the right did like such a good job, I guess, it's the messaging. They're like so good because it's so easy, it's so easy to be a right winger and do your stupid messaging because it's all just based on like oversimplification and anger and fear, and it works. Look at that, right on his. Oh God, that pisses me off. There it goes. Exactly what you're not allowed to do. Fuck you, pieces of shit. All right, what do we got here? Breaking ICE agents in Minnesota violently detained and arrested a U.S. citizen for refusing to show ID. That's again, this another kid, it looks like, super young.
You're gonna learn the fucking hard way. Get the fuck on the car before you get fucking arrested. Get the fuck on the car before you get.
Now that's fucking assault.
Don't move, you're gonna get fucking tased. Don't fucking move, or you're gonna get tased. Because you want to be an idiot. I'm not moving. Because you want to be a fucking idiot. You're a fucking pussy. You're a fucking bitch. And you're gonna learn the fucking hard way.
Like what is going on with this guy? Like what is their God, they're such insecure little fucking pansies, man. God, they drive me crazy.
Just asked you for an ID. That
I
was
don't
it.
give a fuck what you asked me for, bitch.
Good. And yeah, and
Shut up,
and
bitch.
it's like one of those times where like, what do you call it?
What's wrong with you?
Like I would rather like die on my feet, than live on my knees, kind of a situation. I feel like that's the mentality that we need to be pushing here, because this is absolutely beyond unacceptable. We should have never even allowed it to get to this point. We should have never allowed it to get anywhere near this point. But yet here we are. They're just arresting people because they don't show them their ID. Clearly an American citizen. This is just such bullshit. And this is exactly, look at this, they're just going to people's houses. Locked and loaded, like they're in freaking, it's the wrong kind of, they're not even wearing the right camo. It's snowing out. You're supposed to wear the white kind, you dumb fuck. God damn, they're so stupid. Like, well, I couldn't afford the snow version of the camouflage. It's the actual stormtrooper. You just go out and get an actual stormtrooper outfit. I feel like that'd be just as appropriate. Jesus Christ. What the hell is wrong with these people? My God. No warrant, no due process. They can just show up, break into your house. They can just break into your in America. Like, I just don't understand. It's like it's almost like they're going to the cities where they know there are like fewer people with guns. You know what I mean? Because like, I swear to God, I'd love to see them go to Texas. I think that's why they haven't gone to Texas. Mainly, well, because I think everybody would be like, yeah, good job, guys. Rootin' tootin', God damn these fuckers.
She was a mother of 3 children, and as her wife, Renee Nicole Good, who a few days ago was murdered by ICE agent here in the United States of America in Minneapolis. She was 37 years old. She was a mother of 3 children, and as her wife, Becca, said, we came with whistles. They were armed with guns. She was unarmed and murdered in 2026, but yet she is not the only death by ICE. There have been dozens of folks killed by ICE and Border Patrol in the past couple of years.
Dozens.
And unfortunately, unless this government acts, she will not be the last. It is shameful that in 2026, we have masked agents, an American Gestapo, terrorizing its citizens. And for those who sit here and call themselves Christian to be silent while people are being murdered out, I'm reminded of a scripture that says the stones will cry out if we keep our peace. And so Renee Good should be with us, and we should say that we must abolish ICE now and forever.
If
100%.
we could stand and pray for the safety of our...
Yeah, keep praying. Yeah, that's the problem. We've been praying for too goddamn long. And I feel like that's a big part of this too, is the fact that so much of the way that Christians think is listen to authority. Do what the authority tells you to do. Just listen to it. Just don't question it. It's from an authority. There's a God looking out for everything, so it's going to turn out fine. It's good. And don't worry about it. And yet I feel like I constantly have to remind these people when they talk like that, hey, the Holocaust happened and your God was fucking nowhere. He was nowhere for that. That happened. Slave ships piled people together, like to the point where a ton of them were dead when they arrived. Your God didn't do nothing. He was nowhere to be found. It's up to us. We're the ones that actually have to do this shit. We can't just be sitting and waiting for your stupid God and hearing your, oh, you got your prayers and stuff. Oh, we're praying. Yeah. See how much that gets you, man. Nothing. It doesn't get you anything. Jesus Christ. Sorry, I know it's a comedy show. Usually it's not today. That's, not even putting that out there. Not even going to put that out there. God damn, I'm so fucking just, look at this. There's like 1 million of them. What the hell are they doing? There's like 1,000 cops. Not cops. They're federal thugs. Oh, oops. What the fuck? It's just Oh my God. She's just trying to go, literally just trying to go to the doctor. And 17, it also takes like 7 of these idiots to get one woman, because they're so pathetic at all of this. Jesus Christ. Yeah. And yeah, the politicians are completely useless. Hey, Rochelle, how you doing? It's good to see you. Says Schumer will not even discuss defunding ICE. And they are so unbelievably well funded. And I just heard that they're going to start using drones. So they're going to be like flying. How is this not a police state, man? This is exactly what like the right wingers are all afraid of. But it's like fine when it's their guy, when it's their cult leader doing it, then it's cool. And really, it's not even the cult leader doing it. It's freaking Stephen Miller. That's the Nazi head in chief right now. That's doing all of this. It's Stephen Miller. He's the Nazi in charge here. Jesus Christ.
All you know is her. She's trying to drive down the
They saw a brown woman driving down the street. Better go drag her out of her vehicle. I also heard too, there was like somebody that was like literally they took a person out of their car or whatever, and then the car just went down the street. They didn't even put it in park. They just, because they grab them out so aggressively, and then they just take off. I mean, and have you seen the prison that they're taking a lot of these people to? The ABC, was it ABC? Like didn't want to show everybody because, you know, she's the Barry Weiss is like clearly in the pocket of Trump. And so she was like, I don't know if we should show this, you know. She's like off just talking about Erica Kirk probably still, and didn't want to run the piece on that prison. And it's a torture camp. They like walk them around with their heads pushed down. Like they can't even just walk them from like one place. They don't even get to stand up because the whole point is to torture them. We have reached a fever pitch with this. And I don't know how we are not just completely rising up right now. It's like, I feel insane going to work right now, you know? Because it's just like, how are we still going? How are we acting like this is business as usual? What the hell is happening?
People? Can I join? Can I join you? So, are you with the Abolish the Police people? Can I join?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry I'm early, so.
Me too.
Okay, and so my only concern if we abolish the police is what are we going to do about all the gun violence here?
Background checks.
Okay, so, and what about ICE?
These guys are like,
them too?
listen to this dipshit.
Okay, isn't ICE basically
Crazy?
doing
And
what
this
your
is all like,
background
you know, so often it's the, you know, Elon Musk is absolutely on the side of you know, like just taking over completely, and the billionaires get to decide everything for us. It's, you know, that's literally what they want. They want to just terrorize everybody and like just pack up all of their extra resources that they'll never use and just pile it up and then just sit on their pile of all their resources while everybody else starves all around them. And they're just like, well, you know, as like the world burns to these pieces of shit. Let's see. The left let them match. Go fuck yourself. These people are so damn stupid. I gotta hear what the idiots are saying.
Warrant a white woman because that would fit the bill better for them. It would fit their narrative better. But this is what they've wanted from the very start. I'm tired of people acting as if this is a situation where tensions have been slowly ratcheting up and both sides are responsible for that and both sides need to tone it down. No. The left single-handedly ratcheted up these tensions from the very beginning. From the very
What
start
the hell,
of ICE
world? Oh
operations,
my good
they've been
God.
saying
Hold
things-
on. Let me see if I can. How the hell can you say that it's the left, man? Like for what? The thing that got this whole stupid shit started in Minnesota was that dumbass YouTuber was like trying to say that, you know, all these child care places are like all like committing tons and tons of fraud, billions. They're like, it's $1 billion fraud thing. Like Trump's doing tons of like fraud constantly. He's like literally gone up billions as far as like how much money he's worth. And you know, since he's taken office the second time, he's made like more than $1 billion. I can't remember the exact number, but it's a lot. It's like what's up 3.9 billion to 7 something billion. And but that's okay. You know, that's fine. But since he's been in office, just this past year, he's made that much money. But yeah, you wouldn't ever think that he's doing any kind of fraud. But anyway, they said that there's all this fraud going on in Minnesota. And the reason that it's a lot easier for fraud to take place is they fired all the federal workers that can check on that sort of thing. It's like they did this on purpose so that they can, you know, but then that idiot made that stupid YouTube video, and Trump's genius plan to fix the fraud, the financial crimes, is to send a bunch of militias there, you know, send his little Gestapo SS brown shirt army of Nazi KKK guys with their masks on so they can terrorize the community. But yeah, it's the left. It's the left. That's what it is. What the fuck are you talking about?
like abolish ICE. They've made it clear that they don't want ICE to do anything anywhere at all. It doesn't matter if they're going after violent illegal aliens, aliens who have committed other crimes. They don't want it. They don't want any ICE at all. That's what abolish.
Dude, they can't. Yeah, I know that's what abolish means. But like, yeah, and yeah, if we can't have federal thugs, untrained federal thugs, just traipsing over state lines to just detain people and then figure out if maybe they're criminals later. That's not how anything could possibly work. Jesus.
ICE means. Back in the summer of last year,
I
showed up in my city, Los
Angeles. And of course, she's a Christian.
And from the very moment that I set foot in the city, these underground operations were telling each other, they showed up to where ICE was. They started throwing rocks at the ICE agents' vehicles. They started throwing their bodies.
They threw rocks at the kidnappers? Yeah, good. Jesus.
In front of moving vehicles. That's why I said I'm surprised that this has not happened sooner. But see,
I know. Yeah, Maya. Hey, what's up, Maya? She's pro ICE. Yeah. What the? I don't even know how this happens. How can you live in this world? But like, again, the information is so siloed. All they're seeing is their Elon Musk feed that just pumps all the white supremacists to the top. Because that's when they're talking about making America great again. They're literally thinking about Jim Crow. I seriously think that they want to go back to the days where the whites are the ones on top. That's what they're trying to do.
Doing stuff like that. They've been trying to impede these law enforcement officers. They've been being aggressive. They've been being violent even from the very start.
Oh my God, this lady's brainwashed. Jesus.
So this is not a situation where ICE could have done anything differently.
What?
They can't win with the left. They can't.
Maybe they can get warrants and shit like that, like normal police officers. Maybe just like follow the regular rules that police have to follow. It's crazy that they don't have any accountability. I mean, and this like what is it saying? You know, it's the Spider-Man saying, with great power comes great responsibility, and they're all power, zero responsibility. And we're just supposed to just sit here, yeah, go ahead, just bust down people's doors. Yeah, come on in. Sure, Mr. Government Man.
He's the left, short of kowtowing to these radicals completely and just not doing ICE operations at all. So ICE is not responsible for ratcheting up these tensions. It was solely on the left.
It's solely on the left. Go fuck yourself, lady. D&D said, I'm starting to connect the cross to crappy people. It's weird. It's just, it just keeps on popping up that way. Yeah, the pattern recognition is really kicking in here.
Whine and complain, and they say, oh, you promised you were just going to go after the bad guys. What happened? Well, no one promised that they were just going to go after the violent criminals. They said the violent...
Where the hell have you been, lady? Holy shit, these people are stupid as hell. That's been the claim since the very beginning. That's like the thing that that validates supposedly all of this nonsense. That's the rationalization. Oh, we're just going after as they're bashing 17-year-old kids' faces on the cement.
Criminals are the priority, but from the very beginning, Tom Homan has made it clear that if you're here illegally, you are on the table.
No,
it's a civil. It's so crazy. It's a civil crime, dude. It's like parking tickets, man. Holy shit! And they think that's worth suspending all human rights. Jesus, for everybody in these areas.
Effective today.
So critics were saying, okay, you're going to round up people's abuela, their grandmother, and ship them back to where they emigrated from.
Yeah.
Who are the...
Nope, they're not. They're sending them to prisons, torture prisons, and they can't even find like a shitload of them from the alligator Auschwitz.
People that you're targeting, at least in this initial phase.
Right out of the gates, public safety threats. Those who are in the country illegally that's been convicted or arrested for a serious crime. But let me be clear. It's not only public safety threats that will be arrested, because in sanctuary cities, we're not allowed to get that public safety threat in the jail, which means we got to go to the neighborhood and find him. And when we find him, he may be with others. That's
their rationalization. It's, sanctuary cities do all this. This is all because of sanctuary cities. Give me a break, dude. Like, that doesn't mean that you get to do all this. This is insane. But this is why all of this is theater. It's like, it's crazy because it's almost like we've completely reversed course, and the Republicans do this thing where they claim that the other side is doing a thing, right? And then they do that thing, right? And it's like, well, you can't say that I'm doing a thing because I already said that you're doing the thing. Like, we're in middle school with these idiots. And it's like, it's so frustrating. And then now all the conspiracies and everything, all these conspiracy theorists that were like saying all this stuff when the shit wasn't wasn't working the way that they were saying it was. Now it is working that way. Now the conspiracy is actually happening. Now the billionaires do have a child sex trafficking ring and everything that they're hiding too, by the way. They only released 1% of the Epstein files. And all of this, the invading the other countries, the being an occupying force in the United States is just a way to try to detract attention. And it's like, dude, how do you think we're stupid? You think we all just forget because you start invading countries like a lunatic? Holy shit. It's crazy. God damn. This is nuts. I just can't believe this is happening.
And unlike the last administration, we're not going to tell ICE officers not to arrest an illegal alien. So if they find others, they'll be arrested. So sanctuary cities are going to get exactly what they don't want. More agents in the neighborhood and more collateral arrests.
Yeah.
That's why the Trump administration has strongly encouraged people to self-deport. They will even pay for you to do it.
Oh my God. Go
because if you're
yourself.
here illegally, you're on the table. They may not be looking for you.
They're not even going after immigrants at this point. They're just going after brown people and just beating them up and just kidnapping them. They're just kidnappers.
They find you, you're going to be arrested and you're going to be deported. Doesn't matter if you have any other criminal record or if you're violent or anything like that. They made
And
that
see, the thing I'm worried about is now with like AI, and now they're going to have the drones, and now they got the facial recognition and everything. They're just going to start. It's going to be a loyalty thing. If you're not loyal to the Führer, then you're an immigrant. You don't belong in this country, because that's all he cares about is loyalty to him, not to the Constitution, not to like our rights as Americans. No, it's just, it's that. It's just, are you loyal? Okay, well, then you're allowed to stay, and we're not going to mess with you. And once and we've put down every thought that we think on these platforms, and it's like, well, it's too late for me now. I might as well just ramp it up, but because they're going to find the stuff that, they've been selling our data for how long? Yeah. And so now they're going to know who all said anything. And it's interesting to see the technology, specifically the type of technologies that were funded by these billionaires and everything. They specifically wanted, you know, once they saw, I think the social media thing kicked in, they were like, oh man, people like saying what they think out in public. You know, they like telling everybody, oh, here's what I think about this. And for the past, who knows how long, decades, we've been saying everything that we think online. And so all they got to do is have like, because, you know, people, it would take a human forever to comb through all of that data to figure out all the non-loyalists in the country. Now they can do it in like a fucking second. And if you think they're not going to start using that technology to just go after non-loyalists, I don't know what to tell you. You're wrong. That's what I'm going to tell you.
And then on top of that, when they actually do go after criminals, illegals who are also criminals beyond just being here illegally.
I like to see this. Like, it's like the other, also like beside the civil infraction that's equal to parking tickets, that also maybe smoke some weed or something. Like, go fuck yourself.
Criminals. When they actually do go after someone who's here illegally and also has an extensive criminal record, the left lies and says, oh, no, they're just a Maryland dad. They're just here for a better life, just an innocent guy. Like Kilmar Abrego Garcia, right? So again, out of one side of their mouth, they say,
It's like,
you said you were only going to be...
The White House, oh my God, I almost want to like find it. Though it was like it was like from the White House. The stuff that the White House is putting out, it's psychotic. It really is. And it's funny because like they're trying to like show everybody, hey, look, we're getting these dangerous criminals. And they're like got like 5 people or something. And of course they're all like child stuff, whatever, you know. And it's like that's it. That's the best they could do is put up with like 5 people. They actually caught, you know, 5 that actually are bad. And then that's the reason that they are giving to bash down people's doors.
Going after the bad guys, but then when ICE actually...
All right, I've had enough out of this lady. Jesus. So you've heard about who ICE is recruiting. The truth is far worse. I'm the proof. What happens when you do minimal screening before hiring agents, arming them, and sending them into the streets? We're all finding out. Yeah. Psychotic. Yeah, and I'm not looking forward to what's coming, but I feel like the time that I mean, it's coming. They're just going to start arresting the Democrats. You know, anybody that speaks out against Trump, even if they're like protected under, you know, the law for their free speech, he's just going to start. I mean, he's already going after. There was the God, and of course I'm terrible with the specifics, but he's in control of the Fed, right? And they're intimidating him. They're like doing investigations because he wants a better rate or whatever. And all presidents want like a better rate on the Fed, but he's intimidating this guy, and which is psychotic. I mean, I don't know. It's just, yeah, these are scary times. These people are insane, and they're just trying to take over. And I think I almost like, part of me is like, we shouldn't rise up because that's what they want. They want a civil war. That's what I think a lot of this is about. Because once they do that, then they can just do martial law, right? And just start, just really taking over entire area, tanks driving down the street, like all the things that are, we've been saying is coming. They're going to just go full force, It's insane. I just can't believe this is happening. It's like a nightmare. And it's like, I just would not have thought that this would be where we're at. And this little fuck, this little Nazi, like he looks like a Nazi. Like he looks like the guy that would be in the movie,
I can see that, but you know what? The rhetoric keeps getting ratcheted up, and it gets worse and worse and worse. And now we've had an opportunity to look at that video. There is no ambiguity for anyone with eyes to see that the individual that ended up getting shot in this case had been taunting officers along with her partner for an extended period of time. And then
taunting, taunting. Really, that equals death. You know, you said stuff that we don't like, and we're petty little children, and so we just shoot women. God damn.
Her partners say to drive. She goes in reverse and right in the path of an officer.
They were like shouting, like mixed instruction because they don't know what the hell they're doing. So they're like sitting there shouting different things at her, and one of the officers was like, "Go, just go, just get out," you know. And she did, and then they shot her for it, and he had to like jump in front of the car to do it. And they're like, she was a domestic terrorist. Like they're just going to try to rewrite history like they're doing with January 6th anytime something like this happens. But it's just, and why did he film it? That's the part that really messing with me. Almost like they were told to do that. Like they were told to like shoot people on camera to get them all outside. And then those will be all the liberals and leftists that we can then brutalize.
Officer. Now, is that justified use of force? To me, that it's not even a close call.
You're delusional.
Sean, we call that means.
Oh my God.
An opportunity.
Listen to his voice. I did not know his voice was going to sound like that. We call this guy, like he is the white guy that all the black comedians from the 90s like did an impression of. Jesus Christ. What a loser.
Intent. Look at those minutes leading up to the shooting, and we will see what I would consider some pretty important intent.
And
that
pretty
individual have the opportunity.
Intent. Like we saw some intent with her being in the car in a place we don't like for 3 whole minutes. It was 3 minutes. She was standing there in the car, not moving. What?
Yes. Did that individual take that opportunity? Yes. A 4,000-pound missile is not something anyone wants to face, especially in a split-second decision-making process.
Oh, give me a break. He was right there in front of her, dude. She wasn't moving at all. She didn't even gun it until after he shot her because that's, you know, her foot was on the wrong thing, you know, like that's what happens when people die in the driver's seat, you fuck.
In a very already inhospitable environment. Hats off to that ICE agent. I'm glad he made it out alive. I'm glad he's
These
with his
people are
family.
monsters, dude. This is psychotic. Holy Lord. And then the way that they're just like joking about it and stuff. It's like just a second ago. This is how it's like so so infuriating because like whenever they're, you know, whenever it's Democrats and try like, and I'm not a big fan of Democrats at all, especially, you know, in the last few years where they just have done nothing. Every single time that, you know, stuff happens, like we got with the George Floyd protest, we got nothing, literally nothing. And in fact, Democrats like pushed to increase the budgets of the police forces because they were trying to counter the narrative of defund the police or whatever. So they were like caving for that. And we got 0 policy changes. Unbelievable. And like what we were asking for was not crazy. It was just, hey, the police shouldn't have to be dealing with certain things that they're not trained to deal with because, you know, and they're just constantly escalating stuff when dealing with people with mental health issues and everything. And all you're saying is like, we need more people that are more appropriate to be answering those calls. So it would actually just divest some of the funds or whatever to those kinds of departments rather than a dude with a gun showing up. And we F you, like we're gonna increase the budget. Jesus Christ. What? And it's just complete insanity. Yeah, ICE is absolutely out of control. It's not. If this, I almost, you know, and I almost like I almost wish that like the, you know, it like you take power, whatever Democrats get in charge. We should just make a law that says that like environmentalist protections or something like that, and then just start going after all the right wingers and start just brutal. We created a enforcement agency to enforce environmental impact, and you know anybody that's got a truck with a Trump sticker, beat their ass. You know, see, you know, how would they like that? They would be crying a river if something like that happened. But when they do it, it's like, I've just calmed down. They're just getting, you know, it's not a big deal. They're just doing their jobs. good God, what a nightmare. And this is not going to end until it really ends. And it's like this, these are all the same kinds of conditions that typically spark revolutions. And that just seems like it's exactly where we're heading, is a revolution. But I think that we should be looking more towards the Black Panthers. I think we need to take some notes from how they dealt with it, because the Black community, I mean, they've been dealing with this for who knows how long, since the 60s and prior, so they have some experience in this department. And the main thing that is funny too, because the right, before they were all pro guns and everything like that, they were actually making legislation that was anti-gun, because of the Black Panthers would show up fully armed to the teeth, looking a hell of a lot like these guys, marching with their AK-47s and stuff, New poll shows a majority of Americans say shooting Renee Good was unjustified. Obviously, I don't even know how we're having this conversation. This is insane. Unjustified, saying ICE makes them feel less safe, and a majority want to abolish ICE. That's wild. But at this point, public opinion.
Growing numbers of Americans reacting to the Trump administration with a rising tide of revulsion and conviction to resist efforts to militarize American cities. Not only do half of all Americans say that the shooting of Renee Nicole Good by an ICE agent was not justified, about a half, 47% of all Americans, say that ICE is making the country less safe.
Only 34.
34% of Americans.
34% are like, no, I feel safer. I'm very white, and I got my Trump sticker, so they won't mess with me.
Who say it's making the country safer. That is a 30-point swing, a 30-point shift from a year ago, from the start of Donald Trump's second presidency. That same poll shows that more people now say.
And it's not even. It's been a year. Not even. We got to do 3 more of these things with this guy in charge, just ramping shit up anytime he doesn't want people to think about the PDF file ring that he's clearly implicated in like crazy. Oh, let me see what's going on here. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. They are. I mean, they're it's like KKK. That's why they're wearing that. It just it dawned on me the other day. I was just like, wait, we keep making these associations to the 1930s Germany, and it's so much more like the KKK during the Reconstruction era and everything, when they were just terrorizing Black people for just existing whilst being Black. What's it going to say? A 2022 study by ITAP showed that undocumented immigrants contributed to 96.7 billion in federal, state, and local taxes. Yeah, they pay taxes. That's what's so crazy about this. You know what I think it is? I think they're mad that the poorest people are like the immigrants, and the immigrants are like super citizens, dude. Like they are like what they think poor regular people, whatever, should be, like they work insane hours, they live like 7 deep in a house just so they can be here and take care of themselves and take care of each other and everything. That's like, but it's like these guys, like the Stephen Millers and stuff, they want like us to be that. And then, you know what I mean? They're trying to get them out and then knock the bottom down so that the poorest have to live like that while they increase the like bad, harmful conditions and things like that. It's psycho. I can't believe, we're here, and we are definitely here. Ryan, what's up? Said, she hurt their feelings, therefore death. Yeah. Because you see, words are terror. But if Charlie Kirk does it, words aren't terror. Okay. understand now. Yeah, I'd say and that was the other thing. The Charlie Kirk rules right out the window. They were like making fun of her and all this stuff. Just but somebody died, they would say with Charlie Kirk. They would clutching their pearls, and then they turn around and all those rules gone because those rules weren't there. They were just trolling. They don't actually mean anything that they say. Everything is just to try to get power piled up in a place where they get to win. That's it. That's all this is. It's like I said, once you pile power up too high, it snowballs, and then there's nothing anybody can do. And that's when you get to full blown Hitler situations, Let's see. What's up, weirdo? How we doing? My paternal grandparents were both Holocaust survivors, and my grandfather was part of the U.S. ski troops. Once he managed to get into the U.S., it was a nightmare all around. Jeez, yeah, and it's crazy too, because talking about Holocaust survivor, it's funny that the main billionaire that the right always brings up, who is it? It's George Soros, right? Well, that's the billionaire that's controlled. They were always saying he's the one controlling everything. He was always at the center of all of the what do you call it, the conspiracies and everything. And he's a Holocaust survivor, and he funds Right Wing Watch, or he started the nonprofit Right Wing Watch, because he's had some interaction with that fascism stuff, and he doesn't like it. And so he put his money into that sort of stuff, and they hate him for it, but they none of them ever mentioned that he was a Holocaust survivor, and it's like my mom brought him up because I was talking about, well, the billionaires are doing, well, what about George Soros? Like the Holocaust survivor? Of course you don't like him, and yet you don't think that you're on the side of the Nazis? Huh? Jesus Christ. Unbelievable. Hey, Helen, how we doing? It's good to see you. I think I just friended your husband on Facebook. He sent me a friend request. Let's see. I remember. Hold on. So I remember my father's older brother died in Europe in World War II. His other brother fought in the Philippines. Yeah, I mean, and a lot of the people that are talking about an armed resistance, because like I said, there's two different options for this, right? There's an armed resistance, which nobody wants that, obviously, right? That is the last thing I think any rational person wants. That's what they want, because they're psychotic, petty weirdos that just want to hurt people because they're insecure little pansies. But or a organized strike, full blown strike. You got to hit them in the wallet. It's the only thing they seem to care about. No, I didn't. It's Blood Badger. Did you show her videos of ICE terrorizing people? No, I explained a lot of it to her, but I wasn't trying to pull on. But we were having lunch, and it's it's so hard for me to have lunch. I hadn't seen her in 3.5 months or something like that. I didn't go to Christmas. I didn't do it. It's difficult because every time I'm around them, that's what I'm thinking about. Is they support all of this. They you know what I mean? And it's just infuriating. And so whenever we talk, it's I'm sitting here going over things that she's saying, and I'm like, oh my God, what the hell? And it was funny because it was just before the Venezuela thing, right? And I said straight up, I was like, it's not about drugs at all. And it's crazy that the lies, they don't even care anymore. They're not even trying, because the whole thing was oh, it's about drugs. We got to stop the drug cartels, blah, 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 whatever. And then, well, first of all, he pardoned somebody that brought in billions of dollars worth of coke or whatever. They're talking about fentanyl. Fentanyl doesn't even come from there. The boats that they were blowing up didn't even they didn't even have the gas to be able to get anywhere other than just fishing, and but and he immediately abandoned the drug bullshit line and went straight to, well, we need their oil. they got a lot of oil. And like Stephen Miller is trying to say that like, we got to take it back. He's like, yeah, that's our oil. What? How? And really what they're mad about is the lead. I can't think of his name. I'm all over the place right now mentally. But you know, the leader that they kidnapped and his wife too, by the way, which is what the fuck. But he shit, I lost what I was saying. Oh man, what was it? He had diverted the funds and stuff from the oil back to the people, right? That's what really pissed him off, was the fact that he didn't make deals like Trump wants to get all the executives out there, you know, like he just had this meeting with a bunch of executives. That's what they wanted. They wanted the oil. And he said, no, we're keeping our own oil and we're going to, you know, and he put the money back to the people, back where it really belongs. And they hated that. They're like, that's socialist, fucking communist piece of whatever, you know. And but it was funny because like immediately after that, he's just talking about the oil. And I'm like, I didn't, you know, message her and be like, I told you, like, will you start listening to me when I can sense the future? When can you start listening to me? You know, like I actually know what the hell I'm talking about. Jesus. Psychotic, dude. Just, it's so infuriating. That Michael said, I mean, as bad as it is, the whole Venezuela situation has been U.S. policy for at least a century now. Yeah, I know. All it does is destabilize Latin America. Yeah, I mean, and that's what they want. He wants to run the whole thing. He's Hitler, dude. Like he's trying to just take over the world. He wants to rule the world. He's a Bond villain, literally. Like that's what he's doing. And yeah, so, and you're right. This is what they've been doing for God knows how long. They do these stupid regime changes. And this is what really pisses me off about the immigration things, because they go and destabilize all these other countries and then like go, why do they got to come here? No, they're coming. Oh, there's all these immigrants are coming because of you. You're the reason that they're doing that. You went and did the regime change and took all the resources and dipped. So yeah, now you got a bunch of people with the society that's crashing down because of you. And you want to vilify them for it. Unbelievable. It's just crazy. Did I switch back? Oh, okay. What's this one? Libercrat. That's a lib. No, let's see. Ladies and gentlemen, I regret to inform you that liberals are once again singing. It's time to protest ICE. This is for our neighbors who are locked inside together. They're singing. I want to hear them sing. What song?
This is for our neighbors who are locked inside. Together we will abolish ICE. This is for our neighbors who are locked inside. Together we will abolish ICE.
Nice.
This is for our neighbors.
Oh, they looped it just right too. That was a nice little. Very good, y'all. Yeah. I mean, the one thing that kind of gets me, I constantly have to keep thinking to myself as all this is going on that, you know, history is pretty long, right? And people have gone through shit like this for centuries, right? And they've always have figured out a way to survive and enjoy life while all this stuff is going down. I mean, when you look at like some of the history about like the Civil War and stuff, people are still going to like tea and stuff, you know, while there were like battles going on, like a couple blocks away or whatever, and they're out there having tea. What the hell else are you got to do? You know, you got to still do stuff, you know. But that's the thing. They're like trying to make it so that we can barely afford anything. We're working our asses off, right? And now all the little things that keep us occupied, right? They're the tyranny and the gap, the wealth gap has gotten to a particular point now where we can't really even afford the things that will keep us occupied. And it's like, that's the one thing you would think a fascist, people would like think about, like, you can't get your billions if society's falling apart. There's nobody to spend their money on your shit. Like, how are you know what I mean? Like, this is just counterintuitive to everything they actually want, but they're too damn stupid to know it. They're just power hungry lunatics.
And so today, I am glad to announce that the Congressional Progressive Caucus has adopted an official position to hold ICE accountable. Our caucus members will oppose all funding for immigration enforcement in any appropriation bills until meaningful reforms are enacted to end militarized policing practices. And so,
because that's the thing too. Like, I was going to say, like, the blue states and stuff where they're doing this stuff, cut off all the taxes. Like, they don't, like, those taxes pay for all those red states to have their because they're constantly like using the funds that, like, California, it's like just California funds like most of the country as far as like their taxes go, and all of the programs that like help people in need and everything. And I say cut it off. Stop sending them money, right? Because I mean, I don't know. But as far as from like a political perspective, cut off the funds. Do something. Do something. This is absurd. I just can't. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's that one again. That one. What's this? Oh, Kamala Harris.
A lot of the signs at the rally you just held were people standing there saying, abolish ICE.
Yeah.
Is that a position that you agree with?
Listen, I think there's no question that we've got to critically re-examine ICE and its role and the way that it is being administered and the work it is doing. And we need to probably think about starting from scratch, because there's a lot that is wrong with the way that it's conducting itself, and we need to deal with that.
A lot of the signs at the rally you just held.
Well, that's good that they're saying the right thing at least. But I honestly, it's hard for me to take Democrats seriously at this point. Like, we've gotten so far to the point where like it doesn't seem to do anything anymore. Like, they're not listening. They've basically like, and now in like Florida, we're a pretty like mixed state, right? Where it's like it's basically 50-50. I mean, we've gotten a lot more Republicans since Trump and everything, because of course they all got to move closer to their dear leader or whatever. And yeah, the trucks on the street they're everywhere. My God. But we're still, for the most part, a pretty purple state, right? And the map was pretty much already gerrymandered to all get out, right? But now they're trying to re-gerrymander again to do, to make it even worse, to make it so that Republicans have to like win just from now on, because they know that it's a battleground state. And so they got to play dirty. They can't do anything. That's the problem with, diplomacy and stuff. You can't do diplomacy with people that have no integrity, and they will say they're going to do something and then literally do the opposite. They will promise, oh no, we won't do it in an election year. They literally blocked Merrick Garland from the Supreme Court because they promised, oh no, we will never do. And then what did they do? They exactly what they said they wouldn't do, they did, so that they got now the whole court's just completely stacked. And that was part of the reason why ICE has complete immunity, because the Supreme Court is completely taken over by nutbag Trump loyalists. It's insane. Let me see. Yeah, the Democrats will do their best to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory every time. I know. I don't know how you can be this bad. How are they this bad all the time? It's just like, it's starting to feel like it's on purpose. You know what I mean? And the thing is, since the Citizens United ruling, where money is speech now, right? The Democrats started taking just as much money as the Republicans, but they're taking it all from the same people. It's like it's the billionaire class. It's the tech bro oligarchs and all this stuff. Like, they're the ones that are controlling all of our policy now. And so when they're not, when you can't trust the people to do their job politically, then we have to take a different approach. And I don't want to have to take a different approach, but it looks like it's our only option at this point. What's up, Amber? I see Amber. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Amber? How you doing? So maybe we'll get another strongly worded letter. Yeah, they're great at those. Boy, you know, they just get ChatGPT to pump those suckers out and mass mail them. Jesus, so stupid. I see. And that's the thing. And I think it's actually been pretty cool watching Joven. He'll make that case that well, here, let me read it. Why is there a problem about immigrants anyway? Is immigrating here bad because it got colonized? So the present day people who live on stolen land can gatekeep it. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what it is. It's like they're white supremacists. I mean, that's literally what it is. They just don't like, and you hear them constantly talking about, oh, it's white genocide, you know, and all that crap. And it's like the white supremacists, they just hid this whole time. They didn't leave. Like we thought, because I guess the culture had seemed like it had moved on from that, but they didn't go anywhere. They were just there waiting. And that's the other thing that freaks me out too. There was like some of the stuff, I wish I could find some of the videos, but some of the things that they were saying was the storm. Remember the storm? They all kept talking about the QAnon nutbags. They were there talking about this storm, right? And now they're like, the storm is coming. And their whole thing was military tribunals. Remember that? And it's like, that was completely insane back then. It was like, you guys are nuts. There's, it's not going to do any military tribunal. And of course, it was under the pretense that like Trump was this good guy and the corruption was so deep and the deep state and all that stuff. And he was going to be fighting against the deep state and stuff. So they'd have to do these military tribunals to get rid of all of the evil people or whatever, right? And now it's basically flip-flop. He is the deep state. They are the deep state. They're doing all of this stuff to manipulate the system to give themselves ultimate power. And once they start, and he's already using the law enforcement to go after the Fed, to give him the percentage that he wants, when they have to calculate that for the economy. It can't be based on political pressures. It has to be based on like what is best for the economy. Otherwise, the economy crashes. That's how that works. And yet Trump's so stupid. He's like trying to, do this investigation to pressure him into caving. And it's like, it's insane. That's and also the pilgrims who came to this land were immigrants, but I guess they got a pass because they're all white. Yeah. Or just stole land from the so-called savages. Yeah, exactly. We're a country of immigrants, dude. Like we all came here from somewhere else and are basically eradicated. Like, what are they doing with native people? Were they just sending them to that torture prison? What the hell? Jesus, it's crazy. So we're just kind of like on a loop now. What else is? Hold on. I'm not used to the Twitters. Always go in the news. Let's see. RFK Jr. praises Trump, of course. Record high testosterone levels over 7. Gosh, shut the fuck. Oh my God, they're so pathetic. God, they're so insecure. Jesus. ICE Operation Metro Surge targets criminal immigrants in Minneapolis amid deadly shooting and protest. That's what it's called, Operation Metro. Oh my God, they're such losers. They're so pathetic. ICE agent injured in collision before a fatal shooting in Minneapolis. Protester. Wait, what? Are they trying to say that was whatever? See, this is where it's like a lot of this stuff is pushed up because of of Elon Musk. I love that this is still top. This is the reason he's invading countries and stuff. Is like Trump Epstein cover up is still trending, even on the platform that's owned by the billionaire that funded his entire campaign. The richest guy on planet Earth. Jesus. Like, release that. It's both of them. Two of them are trending. Oh my God. Unbelievable. Let's see. Pass the Save Act. I don't know what that is. Interesting. Anyway. But yeah, I just wanted to go through some of those videos. I thought there'd be more of them, to be honest. How do you, like, can I just search it? Like ICE videos? I'm not really sure. Again, I'm brand new to doing it. I have a Twitter account, but I just don't use it. Is that how it works? I don't know how it works. Oh, I guess you go to media, right? Wait, well, let's see what this came up with. Jesus. What the oh my God. Jesus, these people are insane. Completely What the oh my God. Just shooting people in the face. They're just standing around like they're barely doing anything. And they're like, nah, you gotta escalate this. My God. That's the way I want to watch that again. Shit just pisses me off. And it's like the way that they are like trying to do this revisionist history crap just makes me insane. Because it's just like they can do this to anybody. And it doesn't matter because all of their little weirdos are gonna like say the stuff. You know, they're just gonna go with like the whatever the excuse is. I'm calling her a domestic terrorist from day one. And that's the other thing too. Like Trump basically put out that White House press release or whatever, or like what I don't even know what it was. It's some type of you know, he established that domestic terrorists are like anybody that criticizes capitalism and or religion, and like so they're just gonna just say that anybody is terrorist so that they can justify their violence. It's psychotic. I love it. It's like ice on ice. Ice on ice violence is like slipping and stuff. Oh my God. Hell yeah. Get out of there, buddy. Go. Run. Oh, he's out of and he's out of there. All right. Fucking idiots. God, they suck. That guy with the cowboy hat. Go fuck. Oh my God. People are such pieces of shit. What's this one? Do they not watch the same video? I know, right? The show him being run over for what? Oh my God. These people are nuts. Like, how do they? It's crazy that we could sit there and watch the exact same thing. You could see that it went in the window at an angle. Like, my God. And they're trying so hard to like be like, no, she was doing it. And it's like the other video, you could see her like turning the wheel to like go the other direction. She was just going to drive off slowly. And no, he has to jump in front of her. Nice. Let's just go ahead and leave that up there for a bit. She was just going to drive away because like that was one of the instructions that they were shouting mixed instructions at her. Like, how the hell are you supposed to? How are you supposed to follow anything these people say? It's psychotic. Jesus. No way. Oh, yeah, I've heard this one. Hellbound Hillbilly said, what's up, dude? Said they're trying to make a case for his behavior based on PTSD from another time he violated department policy and got injured in the process. Yeah, he like jumps. He's got a jumping in front of cars problem, dude. Like that's something wrong with this guy. And he's done it before. It's like, dude, you know that cars hit people. I don't know if I can. You tend to not want to jump in front of them, dipshit. What the hell? How stupid are these people? And yeah, now they're going to try to use him jumping in front of the last vehicle as like the reason why it's like, well, sorry, he's an idiot that jumps in front of cars, and so he's been traumatized, so he just has to shoot people, I guess. What the hell is going on? Yeah, exactly. Simping is driving me nuts. Jesus. Anyway, what is this one? What's up, Pandora? Saudi Arabia defines espousing atheism and questioning Islam as terrorism. Wow, they're taking their P's and Q's from the theocracy over there. Jesus. So of course MAGA want to copy them. It's so funny, like they hate them so much, but boy, did they love they basically love everything they think, other than the specific religion. Unbelievable. It's so ridiculous. My God. Let's see. Yeah, they say just wait to the midterm. Just wait till we have a Democrat president. Just wait till we see see what the billionaires want. Yeah, fuck you. Exactly. Not you, but you know what I mean. It doesn't work. We've tried. We've been diplomatic as all fucking get out. And it's like they're just pushing everybody because they want it. It's like Tim Pool. Like every other video of Tim Pool is like, it's a civil war. And it was like back when, he was doing this before, it was like, shut the hell up, you weird idiot. But the reason those videos got so big was because they actually want that. They want any excuse to go. They're bored with owning the libs on the social media platforms and just using words to hurt people. Now they want to go outside and actually like violently beat people. They're psycho. And it's really freaks me out because, like, do you remember that? We'll just stop for a minute. Do you remember that on Netflix there was a documentary thing, and it was called like The Great Hack, and it was all basically about how the algorithms are programming people, and it's like a mass brainwash. That's what it really feels like. But it was really interesting, and I feel like that played a big part what they were talking about. And I don't know if it was exactly to the degree or whatever that they were talking about in that movie or whatever, but there's definitely something to be said about it, because the way that they can get themselves whipped into frenzy. I mean, we saw that like the Pizzagate and stuff, they would get whipped into frenzies over all this stuff that they see online, and then they go out and act on it. Right. And it's like the platforms that we're on, they're like literally just like brainwashing people. And it's like, I don't think we've ever, that's one thing that we haven't encountered yet, is like mass brainwashing. Like, what if the whole world gets brainwashed, dude, into like fascist rhetoric? And now if they have AI, it can just do everything on its own. They don't even have to pay the Tim Pools. They can just have fake ones. That just automatically spin. It's just like program it. Okay, just do everything from a right-wing perspective. And now they have videos, and it's crazy. It's irritating because you see a lot of these AI videos, and you can tell they're AI, right? Of like the people kicking the ICE agents out of the restaurants and stuff. I wish they were real, but of course they're not, because it says like ICE on the thing. It's like where it would say police, it says ICE, and it's like, yeah, they don't wear that. Just as police. But yeah, but people are all believing it. That's the thing. People are like, oh, good for that lady. Oh my God. Y'all can't tell this is fake? Holy shit, we're in trouble. We're in so much trouble. And like once Trump really tries to like utilize that shit and just start, I mean, I'm kind of surprised that he hasn't, to be totally honest, and just like put out like AI videos of that shooting or whatever, and just make it like she is running him over, right? They have the technology now that could do that. So once they start doing that, I don't know. And of course, he has like fought. That was like one of the reasons that Marjorie Taylor Greene like dipped out from him, was pissed off at Trump, was because he didn't want to put any restrictions on AI at all, which I wonder why. Yeah, because he wants to utilize it. I don't know. I don't know how he hasn't yet. I guess it isn't convincing enough yet. And it's like once people figure out that they are doing that, well then, you know, there's an uprising for sure. But anyway, let's see. Oh wait, hold on. Hey, what's up, Deviant? How we doing? What's up? Pandora said, in Tim Pool's case, at least a whole bunch of Russian money helped. Well, and that kind of makes me think too about the Russian money. Like, you know how Trump had that like secret meeting where nobody was allowed to listen to what he was saying to Putin? What was the plan? So was Putin's plan this entire time was to do this, just to get our entire country to just crumble, you know, just to get our society to descend into madness, you know, and he's just being paid to do that. I don't know. I don't want to say anything for sure, but what the hell were they talking about? And and the oligarchy that they got over there is very much what Trump clearly wants here, where it's just the wealthy rule, and everybody else is basically slaves. And now that we have AI taking a bunch of jobs, they know that there's going to be a lot more poor people than there were prior. So what, are they just going to put us all in jail? Are they just going to send us all to torture camps if our jobs get replaced and we're poor and so now we're useless to them? Like, I don't know. Deviant said, important question. If I accidentally stick a used acrylic paintbrush in my drinking glass, not the water jar, and doesn't notice until an hour later, should I still drink? Probably don't want to drink that. Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like it'd be a bad day for anybody, but you might be feeling really good here. Whoa, man, this is the water is great. Oh, I'm so relaxed right now. Jesus. This is like they're like, no, you should not drink the acrylic paint in the water glass. Oh my God, y'all. All right, y'all. I'm gonna wrap the show there. But thanks for hanging out. I don't know. I think I just wanted to vent. You know, it was one of those times where I just sort of wanted to let go. I'm gonna try to do a show tomorrow, but I don't know. I have stuff I got to do this weekend and get ready. So, yeah. How did you not taste it? That's question. What number one? You don't. You drink purified water, don't you? Kind of tastes like acrylic paint already. I mean, it's like, Jesus. Anyway, but all right, y'all. But just be on the lookout. Film those fuckers. If you see them, film them immediately and just keep doing it. I mean, if you know, whenever you're in the vicinity, I wouldn't follow them, but if they're around and you're around, film them. You know, that's what I say. But all right, y'all. And hey, thanks as always for hanging out. Oh, yeah, the big thing's still up. Forgot that was up there, wasn't it? But yeah, like I said, gonna do a show tomorrow. I don't know. I'll probably do something fun, try to, you know, loosen up a little bit. But I don't know if anybody finds anything that is that we could have some fun with. Pop it in the Discord, okay? In the suggestion box, and we can have some fun with this. But all right, y'all. I'm gonna wrap her there. And and if you want to support the show, there's some ways you can do that. Right? Where's my thing? It's like the whole world is a Cracker Barrel now. You know? No, but if there's but if you want to support the show, you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/bunkapostate. Or you can donate straight on Cash App. Cash tag is bunkapostate. You can subscribe and then bash that join button. You can email me at bunkapostate@gmail.com and join our Discord. And like I said, pop some suggestions in the suggestion box. But oh yeah, and make sure to finger that like button. Okay, I'd appreciate it. You know, or you could smack it. You could smack that like button, right? Or you can just fucking be like, okay, that doesn't even make sense, man. What the pound the like button egg? All right, y'all. But seriously, thanks for hanging out. And I'm going to thank our members right now.
Just want to thank my channel members. I got constant bill collectors and writing out return to sender only works so many times. Thanks 1,000 times.
All right, y'all are awesome. Take it easy.
Screwing off and playing round, making fun of funny clowns, oozing with contempt and hate. The goofball atheist punk apostate, punk apostate, punk apostate. We rage against machines of hate. Punk apostate, punk apostate. We're community advocates. We're community advocates.
All right, stay logical, loving, skeptical, and compassionate, and we will see you next.